heard, we're not taking this case trying to win it on a technicality. We're obviously still getting up to speed on the case, but we anticipate.
Last night, a silent alarm echoed to the most shadowed chapters of hip-hop lore. This wasn't another recycled whisper or internet theory. According to emerging reports, federal investigators are now listening to a man who once shared a prison cell with Sean Diddy Combs, a former insider claiming that, behind locked doors, a startling admission was made. Sources close to the situation allege that during a private moment, the mogul spoke openly about events tied to the fatal chain that ended Tupac Shakur's life. The alleged motive wasn't personal beef, it was power, control, a rising icon gaining too much independence, threatening to step outside the industry's invisible boundaries. Now, insiders suggest the FBI is reassessing long-dormant evidence, with Combs reportedly being elevated.
The man put a lot of out there himself. So whether it's true or it's a lie, he got to answer for that. And whatever his explanation is, we're going to see. But he said
to a central figure of interest in a case that has haunted music culture for nearly 30 years. If these claims withstand scrutiny, this isn't just another headline-grabbing controversy. It could mark a historic reckoning, with consequences as severe as a lifetime behind bars for one of hip-hop's most influential architects. This isn't a rumor scraped from the darker corners of social media. The information is coming from people with first-hand awareness of the investigation, individuals who've watched the FBI's attention quietly pivot in real time, and the timing alone raises eyebrows. Diddy is already incarcerated, serving a federal sentence following his mid-2025 conviction on major charges. The empire that once insulated him has fractured. His public image has collapsed. The mystique that made him seem untouchable has been reduced to courtroom illustrations, images that, as 50 Cent mocked, made him look like someone who'd aged decades in a matter of months. But this moment isn't just about consequences finally catching up. It's about an alleged admission, one that investigators believe fits a much larger pattern, potentially linking him to one of America's most enduring criminal mysteries. If federal authorities decide to act, the outcome wouldn't merely extend his current sentence. It could redefine his legacy entirely, tying the decisions made in the most dangerous years of the 1990s. To understand the weight of this, you have to understand Tupac Shakur. He wasn't...
Humans are not just good and bad, black and white. They're compassionate at times. They're at times. A man can be and compassionate to women at the same time. I was. Look at the lunatic and look at Brenda's Got a Baby.
He was simply a successful artist. He was a cultural force, a voice that shaped identity, politics, and rebellion for an entire generation. His murder in 1996 didn't just silence a star. It left behind a question mark that has never stopped haunting the industry. Countless investigations, films, lawsuits, and theories have circled the same unresolved truth. Now, the potential missing link is said to come from the one environment where influence, money, and reputation mean nothing: a prison cell. According to what's been shared with investigators, the former cellmate's account isn't vague or speculative. It's described as detailed, consistent, and disturbing.
I think that they don't want, if they was in any of those freak-off tapes, if they played a part in any of those Diddy sessions, they don't want it to get out to the general public to make up their...
aligned with long-standing whispers that have surfaced over the years. Those whispers spoke of behind-the-scenes power struggles, of fear surrounding Shakur's ambition to build an independent label, of anxiety among industry elites that his autonomy could disrupt carefully maintained hierarchies. If the account is accurate, this wasn't emotional retaliation or street-level conflict. It was calculated, strategic, an effort to neutralize a growing threat before it could permanently alter the balance of power in hip-hop. But this is where the story turns genuinely disturbing. This development doesn't stand alone. It crashes into the narrative at the precise moment Diddy's carefully built world is already collapsing. We've all seen the court visuals, the surface recordings, the testimonies that sent shockwaves through his recent documentary.
I realized Big was that type of rapper that he could get at somebody, and I think Puff was trying to tell him don't go that route. You understand what I'm saying? But still putting out songs like Who Shot Ya in the intro, but telling Big not to go at nobody, which was crazy.
Series Sean Combs, The Reckoning, released on Netflix just weeks ago. That series, executive produced by 50 Cent, a longtime rival who never hid his disdain, wasn't a simple rehash of familiar accusations. It introduced unseen material, unheard witnesses, and deeper context around the machinery that powered Diddy's ascent, and the fractures that followed. It peeled back layers many assumed would stay buried. Now, with federal investigators reportedly reassessing their focus, the timing feels eerily precise, almost choreographed. It raises an uncomfortable question.
You know, it's the idea here is that the state has the burden of proving it beyond reasonable doubt. We don't think that they can prove it beyond a reasonable doubt. Also, just to go back a second about what was seized, you know, also what was mentioned was some memorabilia, posters of Tupac and things like that, which we don't really think has a lot of evidentiary value, but, you know.
Was this documentary more than entertainment? More than a public score-settling exercise? Because as events continue to align, it begins to feel less like a retrospective and more like a signal flare, a message dropped ahead of the storm. Whether by coincidence or insight, the series now reads less like an expose and more like an advance warning, one that hinted this reckoning was coming long before the rest of the world caught on. Let's pause on the documentary itself, because this latest revelation can't be viewed in isolation. The reckoning didn't arrive in a vacuum. It landed inside a storm that was already building. The series wasn't limited to Diddy's court cases or the controversies surrounding his private life. It pushed far deeper, reopening questions tied to the deaths of Tupac Shakur and the notorious B.I.G., two pillars of hip-hop whose losses reshaped the culture forever. What made the series especially unsettling were the voices it amplified. Former bad boy insiders appeared on camera, people who claimed that Diddy's pursuit of dominance went beyond aggression and crossed into something far more perilous. Among them was Kirk Burroughs, a founding figure at Bad Boy Records, who spoke with striking bluntness. He alleged that Diddy played a significant role in the circumstances surrounding Shakur's death and suggested that Biggie's fate was not accidental, but guided. Words that once sounded incendiary now carry heavier implications as new...
I lost my freedom behind Tupac. I lost business. I lost house, the whole lot of shit.
Claims surface. Then there's the visual evidence the series highlighted. Footage that, according to the documentary, Diddy attempted to keep from public view. Clips showing him in the days leading up to his arrest huddled with attorneys, discussing the possibility of bringing in figures known for operating in the industry's most morally compromised corners. At the time, those scenes could be dismissed as panic, the reaction of a powerful man facing incarceration. Now, in light of the alleged cellmate account and renewed federal interest, those moments look different, less like desperation, more like habit, the behavior of someone accustomed to managing crises quietly, someone who had spent years, perhaps decades, ensuring that damaging truths never surfaced. And that's what makes this chapter so chilling. The documentary may not have just revisited history. It may have exposed the patterns that investigators are only now beginning to take seriously.